A lot of times when things go wrong, when we're not able to live our dreams, or when our life does not meet our expectations, a lot of times the first step that we take is we start blaming ourselves. We blame ourselves for anything that goes wrong in our life. We must not have worked hard enough. We must not have chosen the right degree program. We may not have chosen the right company to work for or chosen the right industry. We must not have chosen the right community to buy a house or to live in. We must not have made a smart choice with our lives. So we blame ourselves. We say, okay, maybe if we make different decisions, maybe if we knew better, then we would be able to do better. But even the people who have made the best decisions, and even the people who have made the wisest choices without making any mistakes, we can look around and we can see that they're also not able to live their version of the American dream.
You see, you are what you are and where you are because of what's gone into your mind. You can change what you are, you can change where you are by changing what goes into your mind. 98% of the people in our Western civilization have a picture of themselves which is so narrow and so shallow that it literally bears no resemblance to the real person who is there. So many people have been told so many times what they cannot do that they have no idea what they can do. They have no idea what they want in life because they have no idea what is available to them. The picture they have of themselves will not permit themselves to see some of the magnificent things that are available.
Your life doesn't end up in an accident. Your life is a series of actions that you initiate or don't initiate. And that your thoughts are going to control that roadmap. And so how are you using your mind today to either make yourself feel great or not?
So the first thing that we do is we blame ourselves. We haven't worked hard enough. Maybe we didn't make the right decision. A lot of times we blame ourselves with the circle that we have around us. We say, you know what, maybe if I didn't associate with different people, maybe if I didn't have those friends that I held on to my whole life, or maybe if I built my business network a different way, then maybe I would have additional opportunities and the opportunities that I would need in order to live the life that I want to live. But you can look around you and the people who have built their business network, the people who have invested time and energy into growing their professional relationships, even they are not able to relax and enjoy the American dream that they are working so hard to create. And it doesn't really matter what milestone you are in your life. If you're a student or you're a young professional, maybe you're a seasoned professional, maybe you work with your hands, maybe you work in the trades. Regardless of the industry, everyone is feeling the exact same thing. We're all working toward the same things, and we're not all able to enjoy the things that we're working so hard to acquire. Every single year, our dreams seem like they're getting further and further and further away. So the first thing that we have done is we blamed ourselves.
Because it seems like it's always about adding something more. You are learning something because you think you are missing it. You are going to another country because you think you are missing that experience. You are trying out another type of food because you think you are missing that taste. So that means the general idea, which is at the moment existing, is every time when we as humans feel something is lacking, the answer is just consume more. Which means just go out and look where are you going to find something that is going to fill up that gap, to fill up that hole that you are feeling. That is the approach that we have outside.
Success should not diminish our desire. If it does, you will not remain successful very long.
Which means something is missing, no problem, somewhere out there it is, you just pay the money and then you're going to get it. But by observing this type of behavior, I think you can see that no matter how much you consume, no matter how much of these offerings you are taking, you never become full. It's always only a question of time until your new desire starts to arise.
Quitters have excuses for depression and worry and fear dominating their life. They opt out, they back out, they drop out of every great thing that God has in their future. They quit climbing because it gets too hard. It's not easy. I thought God would just give it to me. No. Life is an uphill climb, but the view up there is worth it. It's easier to quit than endure.
Every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance, it's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient.
There is no reason to blame yourself. Especially not if sometimes these decisions were first-time decisions where you just had no experience before. But this is the whole point why it's important to sometimes be faced with different challenges, with different problematic situations, for you to turn on the intelligence and find a solution. But if after the first time you're already giving up, then there's no outcome. Then there's nothing that you have learned. The only thing that you're remaining right now is regret and sorrow, which is neither going to bring you forward nor anything else, because you have not understood the message yet why you ended up in that situation. You need to overcome it. Your next level of development comes in the moment where level 1 is solved. You found a solution for level 1. Now, challenge number 2. Next level. As long as you don't find the key for level number 2, stay there. Many years repeating over and over again until you see it.
I love guilt. Guilt is a tool. Guilt is a weapon. Guilt does not have to be a bad thing. It's not like I perpetuate, but I'm like, I love that I feel bad when I don't do a good job. Most people hate that about themselves. I love that feeling. I'm like, I didn't do a good job there. Next time I will. So some people, guilt is discouragement. Other people, it's a signal for learning. To me, guilt is a signal for learning. It is the body and the brain, the spirit, knowing what is right, knowing what is wrong, knowing what's great, knowing what's mediocre. And it's saying, hey, do a little better. Now, if it's translated into a negative impulse, then some people call it guilt. But I'm totally cool with guilt. You know what? I think it's good that we feel bad when we do something that is below our standard or that's not right, because that impulse to go, I want to do that better.
When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it, because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? But once I see it, once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger.
There's nothing wrong with the way you were created. Nothing.
You treat yourself as if you already are what you'd like to become. There's a genius in you. You have to treat yourself as if you already were that genius. There's something you're completely capable of. See yourself as already there. Then you'll act upon those thoughts, because the ancestor to every action, said Emerson, is a thought.
Your destiny is ultimately controlled by a decision you already made this morning. Everyone watching this already made a decision this morning. This morning, they made it a life-changing, huge decision this morning. And that is either I'm gonna get up, enter the world with no intention, go through the motions to hopefully get by or survive, or I am going to get clear in this morning about what I want, what I'm going after, who I'm going to be, how I'm going to serve, and whether or not I'm going to be excellent and extraordinary or not.
You know, every thought has an energy, just like everything else in the universe. And if you have a thought of shame, it will weaken your muscles. And what is your heart but a muscle? If you raise a child who believe in shame and feel ashamed of themselves, every time they think that shameful thought, they will be weakened. And if you have a thought of fear, and if you have a thought of stress, and you have a thought of anguish and anxiety, all of these thoughts and many more are the thoughts that will always weaken you. When you are having a thought that you know is disempowering you, shift it. Shift it to one that is empowering rather than disempowering. And the thoughts that empower are thoughts of neutrality and willingness and love, and ultimately thoughts of divinity.
So if you break, the fight isn't over. In fact, if you break, the fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain